Alright, what is up guys, back here with another video. Sorry because we do not have any gameplay. This is just something I don't usually do. I haven't made a video in a while. I just wanted to make this video to help you guys. So recently I've been struggling to find which operator I would be best with. And I've been looking all around YouTube trying to find like tests to see which operator I'd be best with. And I couldn't find any, so I just decided to make my own. And if I'm not very accurate on this video, don't shun me. I'm not the best Siege player, but I am a decent player. You know, I would say I'm well-rounded on each operator. So basically, what we're gonna do for this test is I'm gonna run you through a situation on 3 operators. Say, of all different classes. So you have the class as a rusher, which would be Ash, like maybe IQ, Twitch. Those are the rusher type people. Even though they can be played tactically, or maybe in support, you know. But I'm gonna run you through these tests, and through my opinion, try to find the operator that would be best for you. So we're gonna go through attacking and find, let's see, the 5 operators that would be best for you. I do not have any experience with Jackal or Mira, but I do know how they play. And I'm going to be including DLC operators to maybe help you find the operator that you could buy next. So we're gonna start off this test, the situation, with Sledge, Thatcher, and Ash. Your situation is you are on, I believe, Consulate, and there's the garage door. Do you, and there's one wall that is not reinforced. Do you throw in a Thatcher grenade to clear out the area for thermite? Do you drone in with Sledge and then break it down to see if there's any pulse? Or do you breach the wall with Ash's weapon and rush in? If you answer the question with Thatcher, Sledge, or Ash, that is the operator you'll be best with in this situation. Next situation, which is Thermite, Twitch, and Montagne. There's a door. And Frost and Bandit are on the sides. You are on Consulate once again with a staircase that goes up and a staircase that goes down towards the right. Bandit is towards the right, and Frost is up at the top, aiming you down with her shotgun. Do you drone in with Twitch's drone and then shock both enemies? Do you leave the area and blow open the garage door after it has been droned out, or do you go in with Montaigne and try to push them out? Whichever operator you picked, you would be best with in this situation. Alright, so next situation, you are on house. They are in garage, and you are aiming down sights, looking for an area where you could breach. Thermite has just I can't even talk today, I'm sorry. But Thermite has just pressed his breaching round, not breaching round, but his thermite on the wall and blew it open. Do you stand hold of the point, the glass? Do you go from the back and fuse them from the back, or do you try to hold down the point by rushing in to the objective and flashing them all? Whichever operator you picked, you would be best with. I'm sorry if I'm stuttering. This is kind of a fast video that I had to make really quickly. Alright, so you are on yachts, and you see Valkyrie is on the map. Do you rush in through the objective with Buck's shotgun and blast open a wall for your teammates? Do you go to a window and try to hold down the point if there is a window? Or do you try to find the Valkyrie cams to try to destroy them so your teammate can benefit? Whichever operator you picked, you'd be best with. Next situation, Capiteo, Habana, and Jackal. So, you are playing on Favela. and you have a spawn peeker that's trying to get you through the windows. Do you leave the objective or do you rush in? Depending on this, if you would rush in, you would be Capteo or Jackal. If you held back, you would be Hibana. Now for the backup test. You see a wall that is breachable. Do you Hibana it and walk away before breaching it? Do you throw your frag at the door, at the wall with Capteo, and then blast it with fire? Or do you track their footsteps with Jackal and try to find them? Whichever operator you pick, you'd be best with. Next situation with Smoke, Mute, and Castle. This is going to be kind of a different test. I thought out the attackers, but the defenders are going to be kind of a harder, kind of your opinion test. Alright, so we're going to try to find if you are a roamer, an objective player, or mixed. So I'm going to go ahead and put X's on the screen for either the roamers, the both, or the objective players. Usually you can tell by the 3 speeds, 1 armor, and the 3 armor and 2 speeds. I mean 1 speed, but the 2 armor, 2 speeds, they're both, you know, because they're well-rounded players. So if you think whichever one you want, that's going to be eliminated. So the roamers here are Smoke, Pulse, excuse me, Jaeger, Bandit, and Caveira, and maybe even Valkyrie. So I'm going to try to eliminate all the other ones to try to see which one. So you have a Montagne, you have a Montagne, and then on the back you have a Sledge and a Twitch, trying to go together through the big main doors on Consulate. Do you, when you're roaming, do you hide in the center area? Do you hide in a doorway, aiming down sights? Or do you rush in and try to kill as many of them as possible? If you chose to hold down the point, you would be a Pulse with his weapon, Jaeger with his weapon, and maybe even a Valkyrie or a Caveira. So there you have it. We just eliminated Smoke and Bandit from their high fire rate weapons. Now on to Jaeger, Pulse, Valkyrie, and Caveira. Alright, so if you stayed in the center, trying to maybe find a peek hole to where you can shoot them, you are Jaeger, or Valkyrie, or maybe even Pulse. But if you chose to aim down the sights from a door, trying to let them go past you, you are a Caveira. Now we're going to go to the objective players, which are the 3 armor, 1 speed I meant, which is Doc, Rook, Kapkan, and Chenka. Alright, so you are in a situation where they have no shield operators, but they have just thermited the walls, and they are moving in from Garage on Consulate. Sorry for all these situations on Consulate. Consulate is just the map that I prefer and I really like, and it's what I'm using for this test because it's a very well-rounded map. So, do you boost yourself with your health to try to scope it out? Do you try to hold down the point? Do you try to get on your gun and put a deployable shield in front of you from when you're playing Tachenka and start pre-firing the garage door to try to scare them away? Or do you just run around helplessly like Kapkan? Whichever one you chose is the operator you'd be best with. If in Rook and Doc, they're pretty much the same operators, but the different abilities. I'd much rather prefer Doc than Rook, because Rook's armor doesn't really do that much to me. That doesn't really help me that much. Alright, now we are going to talk about like the mixed players. Echo would be a good roamer or a good objective player because his drone is basically the only thing going for him here. Frost is a good objective player with the traps, but she can also put her traps throughout the map, making them less harder to detect. Then you have Castle, which is a very good operator if you're running with Mute. But even if you are not running with Mute, he can go out of the map and maybe even get a few spawn peaks with his UMP45, I think that's what his gun called. What his gun is called. You can pre-fire it, maybe throw an impact grenade at the wall, and yeah. And Mute, on the other hand, he can defeat pretty much every single drone in the game, basically, and maybe even help your team from getting your ADSs and Mutes and Bandits from getting destroyed by Twitch. But even if he wants to roam, he can because of his weapon and his speed to get out of the situation. So now onto your situation. You are looking at a breached wall on, let's just say, let's get a good map. The snowy map. I'm not sure what it's called, but it's got the ducks and the windows, and it's weird to explain. So you are aiming at the staircase. The staircase is a high traffic area on this map, and you are on the second floor when the objective is on first floor. If you are roaming, you are either all the operators I just said, basically. If you are roaming, do you, whenever they breach it and you hear the breach charge go off, do you go on the top floor and jump out? Do you blow open your castle wall, trying to scare them away? Do you put down a frost trap whenever you feel like they're not there? Or do you blast them with your echo? Right. I'm sorry for the gameplay not being on anymore.